Hello class, welcome to Pre-Algebra Lesson 5.2, which is all about solving equations with variables on both sides. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to solve equations with variables on each side and solve equations involving grouping symbols. So we have two goals with this lesson. The first goal is to get the variable on one side. So get the variable on one side. Up to this point, the equations we've worked with have only had variables on one side. Now we're looking at stuff like this, okay, where you have the variable appearing on both sides of the equal sign and what to do about that. So your first step is always to get the variable on one side of the equal sign, okay? And then, just like before, your second goal is going to be get the variable alone. So that way you have like x equals a number, okay? So first step, get variable on one side. Second step, get the variable alone. So if we use our acronym that we talked about in the last couple of videos, don't call me after midnight. The first letter is D for distribute. Okay, there are no parentheses, there's nothing to distribute here. C is combine like terms. There's nothing on no like terms on the same side of the equal sign. So then I'm going to go like that. Then move the variable so it's on one side. So I'm going to start by, I can either move the 7x over to the right or I can move the 5x over to the left. I'm going to choose to move the 5x because then the 4 is all by itself and then the left side just has a term with x. So right now it's a positive 5x, so to move that, I'm going to make it a negative 5x, or say minus 5x. So now I have 7x minus 5x, that's 2x equals 5x minus 5x, that just goes away, and then I have a positive 4. Okay, so I moved my variables so they're on one side of the equal sign. There's nothing left to add or subtract, so I can cross that step off, and I'm left with multiply and divide. So right now, remember that's 2 times x. So to undo that multiplication, I'm going to divide both sides by 2. So I have x equals 2. And that is my final answer. I can plug that in to check. I would say 7 times 2, does that equal 5 times 2 plus 4? 7 times 2 is 14. 5 times 2 is 10 plus 4. 10 plus 4 is 14. So 14 equals 14. I know my answer is correct. All right. Again, don't call me after midnight. I'm going to start. Is there anything to distribute? No. Are there any like terms for me to combine on the left? No. Any like terms for me to combine on the right? No. So what I'm going to do is I am going to get my variable on one side of the equal sign. So here I have a 3x, here I have an x. I generally move whatever has the smaller number. So like right here, that's a 1x, right? That 1 has invisibility power. So I'm going to say minus 1x, minus 1x. So now I have 2x minus 2 equals 4. Okay, so I move the variable to one side. Now I have the add and subtract. So just like the 2 step that we just worked on. So right now I have 2x minus 2 equals 4. I'm trying to get that x alone, so I'm going to move this minus 2 first, right? Because we do the addition and subtraction first when we're solving equations. So instead of minus 2, I'm going to say plus 2, plus 2. I have 2x equals 6. And now I have nothing left to add or subtract, so I'm going to look at multiply, divide. 2 times x, so I'm going to divide both sides by 2. And I have x equals 3. And that is my answer. What I can do now is check, is that right? So I would have 3 times 3 minus 2. So 3 times 3 is 9 minus 2. That's a 7 on that side of the equal sign. And then I have a 3 plus 4, which is 7. 7 equals 7. That is true. I know my answer of x equals 3 is correct. Okay, so hopefully you know like the checking your answer makes sense to you. All right, again, don't call me after midnight. I'm going to start by, is there anything to distribute? No, not yet. Is there anything to combine on either side? Nope. Move my variable. So like I said, I usually move the one that's the smallest number. So here I have a 2, here I have a 3. So I'm going to move the 2n. Right now it's a positive 2n, so I'm going to say minus 2n, minus 2n. I'm left with 3 equals 3n minus 2n. That's like just saying 3 minus 2, which is 1, n minus 2. Okay, so I moved my variable to one side of the equal sign. Next, I have add and subtract. So right now, I have a minus 2, so I'm going to say plus 2, plus 2. I have 5 equals n. You can leave it like that, or if you're someone that likes to have the variable first, that's fine. You can say n equals 5. Let's double check. 2 times 5 plus 3. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 3 is 13. All right, and then we have 3 times 5 minus 2. 3 times 5 is 15, minus 2 is 13. That checks out, so I know my answer of n equals 5 is correct. All right, I want you to try to solve this problem on your own. Don't forget to go through your steps of don't call me after midnight. Good luck. Hopefully for this problem you ended up with p equals 6, and maybe you even went the extra step and checked your work to make sure that that was a correct answer. If you have questions on how I got to that, please look at the work that I have, but also ask me for some help. I'm more than happy to help you. All right, let's look at a word problem. We have Redbird Cruises charges $85 per day plus a one-time fee of $75 for taxes and gratuities. King Cruises charges $100 per day plus a fee of $30. Write and solve an equation to determine what number of days the charge for the cruises will be the same. Okay, so if we start with Redbird Cruises, we know that it's $85 per day plus a one-time fee of $75. So for Redbird Cruises, I would set that part of the equation up as 85. And then do we know how many days? No, that's what we're trying to solve. So I'm going to use a variable, 85x plus, and then we have a one-time fee of $75. We want to know when that's going to be equal to the cost of King Cruises. So this was the Redbird. And then over on this side, we have our King Cruises. So King Cruises is $100 per day. So again, we don't know how many days, so I'm going to put an x there, 100x plus a fee of 30. And now this looks just like what I've been solving. So don't call me after midnight. There's nothing to distribute. There's no terms to combine right now. Move the variable. So like normal, I'm going to move my smaller of the variables. So I have a positive 85x. I'm going to say minus 85x. So I have 75 equals 15x plus 30. So I've moved the variable to one side. Now I just have to do the add subtract. So I have a positive 30. I'm going to say minus 30, minus 30. 75 minus 30 is 45 equals 15x. So I've done the addition and subtraction. Now I just need to do the multiplication division. So x is being multiplied by 15. So to undo that, I'm going to divide both sides by 15. I have 3 equals x, or x equals 3. So write and solve an equation to determine for what number of days the charge for the cruises will be the same. So 3 days is when the charge will be the same for each of the cruises, okay? If you have questions about that problem or anything else from this video, please don't hesitate to reach out for some help. I'm more than happy to help you. Have a great day.